Welcome back to Underrated Movies. I'm your guy, I'm your man, Mr. Alton Henry. Today I'm going to talk to you really of what my opinions would be on The Last of Us Season 2. And I just finished watching the last 4 or 5 episodes of it, and honestly, it was pretty good. Now, have I played the game? I watched the gameplay. So, I do remember certain things that happened in the game. What I Would I like to play? Yeah, I would like to play, especially The Last of Us Part 2. And to kind of see how uh, the show ended. Honestly, I ain't gonna lie, I kind of wish. I thought the final episode was alright. I thought they could have built it up more emotionally. I don't know. I'm not gonna do a review on it, but I thought overall it was a pretty good adaptation. But realizing what I think that they're gonna do with part two, I could see them stretching out to 2 more seasons, season two and season three, and I think that's it. There is a lot to cover because I did watch the gameplay for part two. What I think season two would be about is that they will somehow incorporate that consequence that Joel will later face in that story. And I'm so and I mean the person he shot in the operating table, which supposedly is supposed to be Abby's dad, and Abby was supposed to be there at that same location that day. If they played it off kind of clever, I think what will happen is that they will kind of flash that back a little bit to kind of see that maybe Abby was there. I do think they're going to give her screen time. And I think she will be in the second season. I think really they'll play her off a little bit as some random character, which we all know killed Joel. She kills Joel. Spoilers for those who don't know. And kind of slowly see her journey building herself up to prep up for her ultimate revenge, which won't happen until maybe the final episode of season two or maybe the early on in season three. Because in the second game, how it plays out the narrative, which I love how they chose to tell the story. They might try to half it with her story in the season, and I'll go back and forth from the main series to Abby's story. And I think really what the main focus of season two would be is the strong point of Joel and Ellie's relationship and their decline, as shown in the flashbacks. And I think season three will pretty much have the same result, which I think they will change Joel's death. I don't think they'll kill him off early in first episode. I think they might just beat him up, and then something happens will delay his death until later on into season three. Or who knows, they might change it entirely just to make sure the ratings don't drop. Or hell, they might kill him off in the last episode of season two, and they'll focus the main vengeance storyline in season three. Who knows? There's a lot they could go with this. And given that there might not be a game, Last of Us Part 3, which I could see why, because I mean, I don't know where you could take the story. except just focusing on new characters. I don't see Ellie having any relevance to another story or another game. I just don't see it. I mean, have her in it, but then what's the point? I think they will end it the same way as the at the last game. I really think they will, because I don't, because the point of that game was to show both sides of how the two sides kind of collided. Both people lost something, and there's just a cycle of vengeance that deals with it. This was more drama based. For what after watching season one and reflecting on this was more drama based and reflecting back and then centering on the creatures, the zombies, and it shows how vile human beings are. I thought they dialed it back a bit. I thought they could have went a little bit further. I think they could have went a little bit further. I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel like with season one, after watching, I feel like they toned down a lot, and maybe it was budget reasons, or maybe the visions just were just different. And I understand you want to change things differently, but it felt like they dialed it back a bit. Parts of the parts of season one felt a little bit lifeless to me because it didn't recapture the same dramatic purpose as the game. It just felt, even though it is one of the best video game adaptations, there was still something lacking from it. I feel like the same thing's going to happen with part season two and season three. But season two would focus more on the flashback sequences, which would probably be a slow season, a slow start. And I think the writers really need to do a really great job trying to really make that a point of the story. And then season three would revolve into the more vengeance cycles between the two girls. Um, I think that's where the next two seasons are going to be. I don't see them doing a fourth one. If that was the fourth one, I'm sure I don't know. There's no need. I don't see any need for it. But that's my opinions on it. Let me know what you guys think of HBO's The Last of Us and what you guys think what season two and three might show. And let me know what is your favorite underrated movies.